Good afternoon again, folks. Welcome to another episode of Spilling Tea. I'm your host, Tiffany Daniels. Yes, again, we are going to go through our real brief disclaimers, to the trigger warnings, and get straight to it because, yay, tornadoes! Tornadoes starting from about 3 to 4 in the afternoon, all the way to about around midnight, Tuesday. No, not midnight Tuesday, about midnight Wednesday. Excuse me. And yeah, I figured better get it done before me and the Mal over there end up hunkered in the bathroom. So, folks, the disclaimers. For any and all information we cover on this channel in regards to the Judge Rotenberg Educational Center, you're going to see all the links to all the information we go over right there in the description box with some handy labels right above them so you know exactly what you're looking at when you go ahead and click on it. You're welcome to do that anytime if you'd like to read through it yourself, or if you would like to go ahead and share some of those links and get that information out to others. Trigger warnings when we discuss places like the Judge Rotenberg Educational Center, Agape Boarding School, Circle of Hope, or all those places that are similar in regards to the troubled teen industry, or those who prey upon those of us with developmental delays like the Judge Rotenberg Educational Center. You're going to hear vivid descriptions of and catch clips of surveillance footage of people with mental health issues and disabled people being tortured and abused. If you got young children present, please make sure to go ahead and utilize a headset at least. Also, this channel is marked not for kids for a reason. We do use profanity, and very obviously we speak on some dark topics. So if your child is 16 and younger and they are watching this, very much parental supervision is something that we do advise. Alright, so back to where we left off. We're just going to go straight to it because the last video kind of speaks for itself there. At the very least, the parties are entitled to a regulatory hearing pursuant to 21 CFR 16.1a, which provides such a regulatory hearing may be granted at the suggestion of any person. A request for a hearing may be only denied in whole or in part if the commissioner or the FDA official to whom authority is delegated to make the final decision on the matter determines that no genuine or substantial issue of fact has been raised by the material submitted. Let's bust it apart again. Alright. Number one. I wish I had a megaphone for this. You already had your hearing. You had not one, but multiple hearings from the original time period set between 2014 and 2016. That is 2 years. Can you all think of another case in which a federal department allowed 2 years of hearings to take place before a decision was made? You haven't? Me neither. Okay? Me neither. You got your hearing. Not just that. When the hearings closed out at 2016, you got an extended time period from 2016 all the way to 2019 when the FDA pulled out and had decided but had not published yet the final rule to come up with any evidence. Literally any form of acceptable evidence to argue in your favor as to why the GED device should not be banned. We got that extended time, you got that extended time. They gave you plenty of time to provide your own evidence. It is not the FDA's fault. It is not our fault that you had no quality evidence to present that argued in your favor. That is on you, JRC, not us. You were the ones making the assertion, but no, it's completely safe, it's only last resort, all of that, without being able to provide a single shred of credible evidence that backed you up in any way, shape, or form. You had parental observations that came out in the form of testimonies when those parents came forward to speak on your behalf. Observations without receipts to back them up are nothing more than the parents' interpretation of the things that they saw. It's not entirely irrelevant, but it's not going to hold the same amount of weight that former students who actually were in this school and forced to wear that device has, who came forward not just with stories, but with receipts such as ER documentation, ER photos, and your own video surveillance footage to back them up, along with former whistleblower staff that came forward to also back up what we were seeing, any evidence in ER documentation and photos, and backed up again by your own video surveillance footage. Okay? You had your hearing. Nobody has deprived you in any way, shape, or form to be able to argue your side. You just suck at it. You suck at it because you cannot present any credible evidence that speaks up as loudly on your behalf as ER documentation, video surveillance footage, and ER photographs speak up for our side. It really is as simple as that. Nobody is being unfair to you, JRC. You were given consideration well beyond any well-known case I have even heard of up to this point. You had plenty of time. Okay? Again, not the FDA's fault that you cannot make your case. Not our fault you have no credible evidence that back your statements up. Not our fault that the parents you had come forward to testify in that bizarre and extremely disturbing Kool-Aid drinking manner had no receipts to back up the observations that they were testifying to in those hearings from 2014 to 2016. There is no reason to go through another 2 years of hearings. But the only thing we're going to be doing is going over the exact same evidence and speaking to the exact same experts. You had plenty of time to counter what they were testifying to while those hearings were originally going on. Okay? You could not break them. It is very much a situation of you can't lie when we have the receipts. Okay? I am so tired of it. Oh, but you're not being fair because I'm not getting what I want. That's not what being fair means. Okay? Being fair means everybody gets the same shake. What you do with that shake is entirely up to you. And nobody owes you a do-over because you screwed up. That's real life. It sucks for all of us. Strap in, get a helmet if you have to make yourself feel better. That's just how it is. Let me go ahead and continue on. But if we make a suggestion that another hearing happens by another person, again, why do we need another hearing to go over the exact same crap and listen to the exact same arguments and essentially witness once more how your so-called evidence gets ripped to shreds in comparison with the evidence that is on our side? You had your chance. What is there not to get there? We literally go on Google, for fuck's sake. There are clips from those multiple hearings between 2014 and 2016 that you can look up, pull up, and watch at any time. Anytime. You can even see in those clips the JRC lawyers trying to question the credentials of, the experience of the other professionals, doctors, psychiatrists, psychologists, and neurologists that came forward to testify during that time period. Why are you needing to try and do this again? This is real life. You don't get do-overs. More's the pity. I had a time machine and I found my 20-something self. Holy crap. But you get my point, right? The fact of the matter is, JRC, you haven't had any genuine or substantial issue of fact that has been raised by any of the material submitted. That's why you lost originally. That's why you lost. Are you a glutton for punishment? Do you got some weird kink where it turns you on to be embarrassed on international television? There's no reason to go through the hearings again. You got your chance, you failed. Okay? And just because you failed does not mean the FDA has in any way been unfair to you. There is not a single civilian out on the street that would be given the same leniency by being involved in a case from a federal department that you received in regards to the hearings on your GED device. That is a fact. I'm going to go ahead and close on that because, my God, it just gets irritating. But it's not fair. Just because you lose doesn't mean the FDA wasn't fair. That's not even the definition of fair. I'm gonna go ahead and close out, folks. We got about an hour before, yay, stuck in the bathroom for God knows how long. Thank you, Tornado Alley. In a GOP hellscape, no less, with FEMA being God, it sent help. Get me out of here. We don't get very many views on this channel, and the few we do tend to get removed from time to time. So folks, please, if you could, don't forget to hit the like button, hit subscribe, don't forget to hit the comments, I do appreciate your time, and as always, folks, we here at Spilling Tea hope you have a good one. If nothing weird goes wonky, then I should see you all tomorrow. Bye bye, everyone.